Hi there, fellow nerds and weirdos. I'm going to do a new graphic novel haul, and it's been a while. I think this is 2 months, so a 2 months haul. And yeah, well, let's just begin with Legendary Star-Lord. This was really enjoyable. I actually made an order for the second volume of this. It really felt like the movies, story-wise, and it was just a very adventurous story, I think. And it ended like you really wanted to know more. Really nice artwork too. It is written by, let's see, Humphreys, Medina and Williams. Really like that one. Moving on. We got Hulk, Broken Worlds, Broken Worlds. And this is kind of like a compilation of different dimension Hulks. It really sucks, really, but some of the stories was good, like the one about Hulk's daughter. It was so cool. It was cool illustrations, I think. I really like the look she has. Pink hair and green skin. Really cool. What is she called? Let's see which. Fundra is her mother. She's just the daughter of Hulk, with Femison warrior Fundra, created as a test tube baby without Hulk's knowledge, raised in an alternate future, leader of warrior women Femison. Really cool. And the story was kind of about the Femisons battling the male people, the men army, and it was good. Moving on to this beautiful thing, Bart Kira Nuclear Edition, and this is by Floating World Comics. Has released this. Bart Kira is something created by Ryan Humphrey, and it was if I understand it correctly, it began as a internet thing where Ryan Humphrey made a Bart Simpson merge with Akira, and it was a success. And then a guy called James Harvey wanted others to do the same and make their interpretation of Bart Simpson, the Simpsons meets the Akira, and they want to do the whole classic comic of Akira, just do a remake of it, even every page of it in a Simpson kind of way, and it has a lot of different artists' attention, and this is kind of pieces of what's been made so far. So it's not a complete story in this one. Some of the pages doesn't even follow each other, so it's mostly a art book kind of, and it's really cool. Some of the art is really beautiful, and it's really cool to see these different Simpson characters in Akira verse. Like this one. And I really want to push for this book because it's incredible, really. Let's see if I can find some of my favorite things here. And it's a really beautiful binding as well. No, it's glued by binding, but yeah, well, it smells good. Got some of the aliens there as well. Really cool. Well, anyway, head into floatingworldcomics.com if you want to buy one of these. Moving on, and I got this Swedish Flash Gordon book. I bought this at a flea market for a really cheap price. And this collects Dan Barry's classical adventures between 1951 and 1956. And I don't think I will ever read this one, but the pictures is really cool. I like this black and white 50s kind of thing. Moving on. I found this at the flea market as well. Kvarnby Comics, and it's from a Swedish comic book school in Malmö. This was released in 2015, and the school is called Serieskolan in Malmö, comic school in Malmö. And I find this very interesting. I've read it a little bit, and it's funny to read about all these different underground comic book writers there are, and I'm surprised that it can be this thick with comics. Really impressive. So check out Kvarnby Comics if you want to know more. And then I did this Indiegogo. I made a contribution to an Indiegogo project for Seban Kultur, and they released this Seban anthology books. And I got my first one now, and also a bonus book as well. This is also a anthology with different international comic book writers, and it's more like the arty kind of comics. Not and some of them is really cool. But some of the stories you can't understand at all. That's probably the art thing about it. This one was also. Oh my god! Look at this. This artwork is incredible. I don't really know what he was called. Let's see. That story was called 5 Seasons Winter by Mikalaki Corday. It's incredible artwork, really. I have to Google if he's done anything more. And this is not a comic book, but it's still a very cool thing. It's a Game of Thrones pop-up guide to Westeros. And This shit is awesome. Just look at this. I don't think any children should play with this, but you can play with it. So that was a cool thing. And then we got Black Hammer by Jeff Lemire. I really like this one. This is volume 1. Really interesting story about these superheroes that is caught in a dimension where they do not belong, and you don't really get why, but I think you will get in the next volume. Perhaps some of the mystery will unfold, so to say. A really nice artwork as well by Jeff Lemire. And then we got Elias the Cursed, or Elias the Cursed, and this is a humanoid book by Sylvain Courriat and Corrado Mastantuano. Really nice story about a king, a very ruthless king who wants to kill all the wizards of the world, and this is kind of like a fantasy world, yeah, of course. And when he meets the wizard leader, this guy just takes his face and leaves him to die, kind of. So this wizard has his face now, and this is several years later when he tries to find this wizard just to take back his face, kind of. And on this journey he meets a lot of different characters which want to help him, and it's really cool. It's kind of the old school kind of way to you know, these what is called Percevan. It feels a lot like Percevan, the old comics from the, what is it, the 80s, 90s? Well, it's from when I was baby, kind of. Well, it was a good read anyway. And this one is the best thing for these months, and it's Mouth Baby by James Harvey, who also was the one who encouraged Bart Kira. And this guy got a really good sense of design and pattern work, and it's really cool to see. I have to show you some of these things, and it's kind of weird, so just bear with me. This girl actually gives birth to this mouth baby through her mouth. That's why it's called Mouth Baby. And well, it's beautiful anyway. Really nice colors, and the layout is really cool. And well, this is the story about these parents with and how they tackle the problems that is caused by this mouth baby, kind of. And it was really a really good buy, and I bought it from the press, Black Hook Press, which is the company behind this, and they are from Japan. So you have to go to their website if you want to order it, or James Hardy's website as well. But I don't know if he has any at the moment, but I know that Black Hook Press has. And I'm moving on to, we got this Marvel Omnibus, X-Men Legacy Legion. And this is actually without the dust jacket. I have the dust jacket here. But it's really cool artwork on the cover here. And actually down there as well, really cool. And I haven't gotten that far with this yet. It's kind of like a third of the book. And the reason is that the story kind of sucks, really. The only reason I'm reading this is that I want to know more about Legion. And I remember him as quite cool when I was growing up, but these are not the same stories that I read when I was growing up. So, but I'm going to read through it and see what's up with this shit. And then we're moving on to Weapons of the Metabarn. And this is kind of a follow-up to The Incal by Alexander Jodorowsky. So I haven't opened this yet. And this is also a Humanoids book. But I think it will be cool. And that was it. I think, yeah. So I bid you farewell and see you later. Yes. Bye bye.